Welcome to School of Timeless Wisdom. My name is Omnia Amin, and today we're following up about becoming the best versions of ourselves. So last time we said if you manage to change one thing, just one thing, you've changed who you are into a new version of you. And we said, let's practice. Actually, I was working on something that is very important for me. And it's, let me give this as an example and a proof that when you keep practicing something, what happens? So I have this, something like a 30-year stretch friendship with a family. And things went very strange lately. And we are in the year of endings, as I said. So it's the year of cosmic 9. And I'm going through my own personal 9. And what happened? Things started to go funny to the extent that a 30-year-old relationship was jeopardized. So what I did, and this is big, like for me, things to reach this negative momentum, like where I was very uncomfortable with what is happening, I sat down first by taking responsibility. So step number 1 to achieve anything is take responsibility for what is happening. So I could have turned around and said, how dare they, after 30 years, they do this. This means I'm not taking responsibility. I'm placing all the blame and responsibility on the other party. No, you cannot start by blaming the other. You always and forever need to start with, I created this. So I started with, all right, I created this. Why did I create this? And if the why is not really coming to you, it's coming as an attack, like they attacked me, they said this, how dare they not respect me, which actually happened with me. And I was like, where is all this? They've forgotten. So I'm like, I literally wrote down what I felt they did to me. And then I looked at the paper and I said, okay, this is what I'm doing to myself. Why? Why? Why am I doing this to myself? Why is it that I'm resonating with something like this in the here and now? And I'm asking for this to happen. So for a whole week, I did something very simple. I said, I'm going to every day change who I am in relation to them by changing one thing towards the positive. So day 1, I started to remember only the good things between us. And they were plenty. And I kept breathing into this laughter, the jokes, joy, togetherness, visiting the family, birthdays, and saw myself doing more of this and more of this and remembering this until I literally felt very light, very happy. And started to imagine that more is coming, that the future me is enjoying more of these beautiful times with them lined up. Then the following day, I took it a bit more seriously. I woke up and I have to say that I found that the joyful state that I placed myself in kind of like faded a bit. And there was bitterness here in my mouth and in my throat. And it's kind of like a bit of disgust, like, really? They really did this? And then I told myself, Omnia, you've just stepped into a new you towards them. So what I did, I started to breathe. And the breath is very important, by the way, because the breath, the more oxygen that goes in the body, the more oxygen to the brain, to the mental plane, down to the gut, which is like this gut instinct is very, very important. It kind of like feeds the body. And by the way, the oxygen or works as a merkaba. So the actual oxygen atom, the way the oxygen structures itself in the body takes the form of, the pyramid in two inverted pyramids like a merkaba, what we call a merkaba, 4D merkaba, exactly. So that's what the oxygen does. And I started, as I breathe this oxygen, knowing that it's my merkaba. That's why a lot of people say it's only a breath away. A breath away. A breath away, it means this oxygen, when it is inhaled in the proper manner and directed to the proper organ that is holding the memories, that is holding the angst, that is holding the anger, that is holding what you name it, like the tension, because it does manifest in the body. And you send this oxygen. Oxygen by nature is fire. Oxygen has a fire element. This is why a lot of oxygen would kill cancer, would kill diseases, would eradicate a lot of things in the body. So I breathed with intention. So intention is key. So the first day I started to have happy memories. The second day I started to breathe the oxygen, the fire of fueling Merkaba, and that all these atoms of oxygen are going to wherever it is and transporting my body into a new one inside a Merkaba. So I had all these oxygen Merkabas inside of me. And then I'm very good at visualizing the Merkaba because I always put it and place it around myself. And with this, I started to target where the anger is in the body. And I started to breathe it. And I bet you there will be some euphoria when you're doing this because it's amazing if you're doing it correctly and it smooths out. So after a few breaths, I started to feel lighter. And I started to hear, because I had it like a lump in my throat and very bitter on my tongue. So I started to even breathe with my tongue, so that the tongue was feeling the coolness of the breath, and this coolness was going inside of me. And by the way, doing the tongue like this and breathing into it cools the body. So I cooled down, and I started to tell myself that the body has let go of all the sad memories. And I just saw them with the oxygen Merkabas entering one of these Merkabas, and on the exhale, I've exhaled, exhausted all these memories out of my body. And I continued this until I really felt something concrete. So don't give up on the breath and don't give up on visualization. Persevere. The third day, I moved on to something different. And I was actually feeling a little better than the day before but I was still heavy, like heavy, a bit of a heavy heart, because I knew a confrontation has to take place. So on that day, I sat down with myself and I asked myself one question. From now on, what is it that I would really, really love, that how to diffuse our friendship and to make it go into a better kind of like go on to a better path. So I sat down and I wrote it down. Writing is creation. I didn't write one single negative thing. I only wrote how I want things. And then I remembered something. It is how I want things. So day 3, I sat down and practiced, we are all one, that they are me and I am them. So when we're one, this oneness, this beingness made me put myself in their shoes, and I kept asking why or how they are seeing me and how they are seeing my reaction. And I started to have empathy, a lot of empathy, like kind of like, yes, I see where this is coming from. So there was understanding, and I engulfed it in a lot of love, that really every person you see, you meet in this universe is a mirror reflection of you. It's you. That's how I spent my 3rd day. My 4th day started to be lighter. And I had the happy kind of like projection where I asked that we talk, that we have a meeting. So until we actually met on the 7th day, but every single day, with every breath, I kept visualizing and placing myself in this very happy medium with them. So what I want to do or say is, you can have terrible circumstances. A circumstance that you think, oh my God, it's horrific, I'll never get out of it. Forget the circumstance. Focus on one thing, no matter what is happening with others, the world around you, whatever, what you've got or haven't got in your pocket, it's okay. But focus on your state of being, your being. How is it that I'm feeling? Even if it's so heavy, even if, let's say, you've just lost a dear person, you've just come back from a funeral of a loved one, anchor inside of you this space of beingness. If you need to mourn, mourn. But there will be a time where you will say, no matter what the circumstances, I will diffuse everything with my state of being. So your state of being elevates you to a very special position. And what is beautiful about states of being, you might catch yourself being negative and you'd say, I coach you. And I know one thing, that just by a second or a flip or whatever, I can change this state of being into something more positive. Do it. Even if it's just going and eating an ice cream and feeling that it's cooling you down. The state of being is very important. Now, a lot of you here in my interactions and readings shared with me their frustrations around an issue. First thing, don't think of the issue, because if you think of it and you're thinking of it as a problem, it will remain a problem. So put it aside and make sure that you are breathing into any corner of your body, brain, wherever, and smoothing that tension related to that subject out. And only feel yourself where you want to be, not how you are, where you want to be, and live it. Just anchor there. So I kept anchoring, I kept visualizing that when we meet, when we talk, it will be fine. And it was fine. We smoothed out so many things, over 60%, which is perfect. And there is room for us to meet again. So what I want to say is, between what is happening, the physical action that is happening, the physical world that is taking place, this is the end result. The physical is the end result of two states that came before. Now, the first state is the mental state. It's the thought, it's the thinking. It always starts here, how you think here. Oh my God, my best friends were traitors. They deceived me. So once it's in the mental, it will go out, and depending on how strong, it will materialize in the astral plane. The astral plane is a very dynamic plane around you. So, when you hear that people astral travel, do things, yes, because the astral plane is what brings things to you. A disease will remain in the astral plane. Once it's manifested in the astral plane, 100% it will hit your body. Unless you're aware. The only way to ward off things so that they don't come to the body, that the disease doesn't hit the body, I don't hit my car, I don't hit my head, I don't split my whatever, I don't break my arm, because it's always in the astral plane, is by conscious awareness. So it's always the mental. What is it? What is the thought that caused this? And you'll know that it's hanging around you. Consciousness of it and tackling it while it's still in the astral plane is key. Let's say it already hit and you're ill or you broke your arm. So it means it manifested in the physical plane. So the beauty of it is from the physical, you can rise to the astral and to the mental. So retrace your footsteps. Just have a thought about, okay, I created this. Number one, take responsibility. B, the circumstances in which I created them can be changed. How? How I feel, my state of being. So I do have, while I cannot go back in time and change the circumstances, I can go forward in time and change my past. How? By observing my state of being, having this consciousness, anchoring it down, anchor, wire those beautiful moments of you being happy, have more of them, and move with whatever it is you're wanting forward. This will be a new you. A habit is only something that you have done over and over and over again, be it positive or negative. Remember that it is something that you have kept thinking over and over and over again. I'm going to be harmed. And every time, oh, I knew it. I know every time I go, I get harmed. Now, it is your belief that conjures things. And let's say that's not you. Be very conscious of one thing. Not just your thoughts on your own, the collective thoughts of where you are. Because the collective thoughts coming from the media, from the street, from the people, from at work, if it's very negative and very loud, remember one thing. You don't have to change anybody. You take responsibility because something in you is creating this. So step number one, I'm taking responsibility on the physical level. Step number two, I'm going to inhale oxygen because this takes me to the astral realm. Because oxygen is fire. And fire is got the ability to burn things I don't want and fuel my Merkaba and gives me wings. 3, the thoughts that are related to this. Always, always, always conscious thoughts that give you willpower. Conscious thoughts, so it's not enough to be conscious of harm. No, we don't think harm. We think of conscious thoughts that give me willpower. I have the willpower to wire this habit into me. I promise you that whatever the you that encountered this in the past will manifest into a future you that has nothing to do with this you in the past. This is a promise. Just do it. Thank you.